Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. In today's recipe, I'm going to show you a really kid-friendly and a family-friendly dinner, which is a sloppy joe. Sloppy joes is essentially a type of burgers where you don't make a patty, but you actually make a mishmash of vegetables and lentils, or rajma or any type of meat, based on your choice, and make a sloppy and a thick filling, and then just put it on top of a burger bun, a toasted burger bun, and drizzle some mayo on the top and some sliced cucumber and onions if you wish, and then take a bite into it and make a delicious dinner. It's also high in protein because I'm going to be packing in a lot of vegetables into this, as well as some rajma. And so without wasting any time, let me just dive right in and show you how to make this delicious burger. So to begin making the mushroom and bean, chili bean sloppy joe, I am going to prep a few things. I have some things prepped already, which I'll take you in the cooking process. So the first step is to chop the mushrooms, and mushrooms have to be chopped fresh. So I have some really nice fresh button mushrooms here. I'm going to slice it up. So typically I use the stem as well. So I'm just going to slice up the stem, and after that just slice up the mushrooms just like this. I'm not going to chop it. Slicing the mushrooms are nice because it adds in a great look to the sloppy joe as well. So just going to slice it. So I'm going to go ahead and drizzle some olive oil into my pan, and into this I have some chopped garlic. I'm going to add it in, some chopped onions, some chopped red capsicum, which is the red bell peppers, and the sliced mushroom. I'm going to go ahead and add all of these and saute them until the onion, capsicum and the mushrooms soften, and you start getting the aromas of garlic coming through. It doesn't take long to cook the mushroom, so once the mushroom is cooked and roasted, I'm going to go ahead and add all the remaining ingredients to make the sloppy joe. So notice the mushrooms are just perfectly cooked. It's softened, and so has the onion and capsicum as well, and it's just perfect. I didn't add salt while cooking it, because if you do add salt, the mushrooms will give out a lot of water and you have to evaporate them all, so not now. I have some rajma beans that I've cooked and kept, so it's really soft. I soaked the rajma overnight and then cooked it in the pressure cooker with a little bit of salt for almost about 20 to 30 minutes. So now I'm just going to give this a stir, and I'm going to add in the sriracha sauce and the tomato puree and the mayonnaise, which is going to add a delicious creamy taste to my sloppy joe. So this is the sriracha sauce. It adds in a nice spice to the sloppy joe. So it's completely optional, but I like adding it because it has a perfect blend of chilies and the vinegar and the salt, and it's just yummy. And I'm also going to add in the tomato puree and some brown sugar. So the little bit of sweetness to the sloppy joe is what makes the difference. So just some brown sugar. You can also add in some honey if you want, and honey would also bring in a nice taste. You can also add jaggery if you want, so if you don't have brown sugar at home. So these are the other alternatives. And if you like it a little more spicier, add in some red chilies, green chilies, or even some red chili powder, and it would just be fine. So I'm going to stir fry these ingredients on high heat. Notice I haven't added salt as yet because sriracha sauce has some salt, and so I'm going to give it a taste and then add in a pinch of salt. And I also cooked the rajma with a little bit of salt, so just give it a taste before you add in the salt. So I'm just going to stir fry this on high heat just for about a few seconds, and I'm going to add in my mayo, which is 100% vegetarian and adds a delicious creamy texture to the sloppy joe and also balances all the spices out. And that's it. And I'm going to reserve some for adding it on top of the sloppy joe when we actually make it. So now you need to actually stir fry this entire sloppy joe mixture for a good 2 to 3 minutes until it becomes like really thick, right? So you want it to be thick, because we're going to be putting it just over the burger buns, and you don't want it to just keep falling out while you're eating it. I'm just going to do that. It's going to take 2 to 3 minutes, and once it's done, I'm going to give it a taste, add some salt if required, and I'm going to toast my burger buns and then just serve the sloppy joes for a delicious dinner. So notice that the sloppy joe mixture is nice and thick, and I kept stirring it while making it to ensure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And I haven't added salt as yet, so I'm just going to give it a quick taste and check if a little bit of salt is needed. If needed, add it, else just let it be. Perfect. Absolutely no salt required. It's just great, so do give it a taste. The sauces as well as the rajma and the sriracha sauce just blended beautifully along with the mayo. I'm going to keep this aside and toast my burger buns in some olive oil and then just plate it. So I'm going to go ahead and drizzle some olive oil onto my pan. I love toasting my buns with some olive oil. It adds great flavor. I'm going to place the buns over it and ensure that, spread it around and so it absorbs all the olive oil at the bottom. And once it does, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on the top so that when we flip it over, the tops also get toasted well. Okay, so toast it on medium heat until it's lightly browned and crisp, and you want it nice and warm through and through because warm buns taste delicious for dinner. So notice that the buns are nice and crisp on both sides, and ensure that they don't actually brown too much on the top because you want it to be just about cooked and with a nice crispy outer cover, because you're going to be placing the top bun over and taking a nice bite into it. So the final step, I'm going to show you how to put it all together and then serve it for dinner right away. So I'm going to quickly show you how to put the whole sloppy joe together, and I can't wait. So the first step is to ensure on the top of the toasted buns, add a dollop of a good mayo. There's Eggless mayo, which is nice and creamy, and just spread it in. I like adding a nice delicious dollop, so then it brings in a lot of creaminess to the entire sloppy joe and your children will simply love it. Now I'm going to add in my sliced cucumber, and you can also add in your carrots, your tomatoes. It's completely your choice as to what you want to do. You can add some pickled beetroot as well, and it tastes really nice. Great, so now I've added this cucumber, and on top of this really thickened sloppy joe, which looks really delicious. A big dollop of it. That's it. This is how sloppy joes look. You need to ensure that you add like a big mound of it into your burger. It's really sloppy, and that's why it's called a sloppy joe, so it tastes really nice. Great, so add it to the other one. And now some onions, if you like. If your children don't like onions, you can omit it, but onions, who doesn't love onions? I do, because it adds that extra punch to the burger. Okay, that's it. This looks great, and if you want, you can add an extra dollop of mayo on the top and make it more creamy and nice. But personally, I would leave it here, but for your children, if you want, one more dollop of mayo and your dinner would be ready. Really quick, healthy. It's got some proteins, mushrooms, vegetables, and a delicious creamy SRIRACHA as well as mayo sauce. So let's just dive in and add in a little dollop of mayo into one and leave the other one just like that. I'm just going to go ahead and cover it, and that's it. So this is how you serve your sloppy joe. You can cover it completely, but actually serve it open and leave the other toast by the side so that your family can actually put it on top as per their comfort, and then nicely press it in and then take a nice big bite of it. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this recipe of how to make the mushroom and chili bean sloppy joe, which is made nice and creamy with this vegetarian mayo. Do give it a try. When you do, don't forget to share your feedback in the comments below, because I'll always be looking to hear back from you. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.